the strength and the weakness of the community is very important. The needs of the community, whether the community need it or not, is very important. And finally, the assets of the community. In many community, we have certain assets, but we don't identify those assets, and then there is a duplication of the asset because we go to the community with a preconceived mind. I want to do this something on wings. I want to do something on basic education. I want to do something on this because district grant has told that this is the topic on which we will have to do this. So we try to, in order to force something, we sometimes we don't do the assets of the community survey, and we finally land into a mess. Next. So what I was explaining, just to read it out, the community needs assessment. Why is it required? A good assessment provides a framework for identifying the solutions to the community's problems. First we have to know the problems of the community, then only we can find the solutions to it. It builds a valuable relationship and encourage beneficiaries to help make lasting local improvements. And it is very critical to creating trust and to foster community ownership and sustainability. So these are the three things for which we need a good assessment to have a very good global grant application. Now next. Some of the techniques of needs assessment, how you can go about into a community to do the needs assessment. How can you do the needs assessment? The first and most important is the community meeting. Suppose you want to make a something on sanitation. So definitely you will have to go to the village. You call a meeting about the village people and have a community meeting, and then write down the outcome of that, how many are interested, how they will maintain that after the grant, after this bathrooms and toilets have been made, how will they maintain it, and if there is a breakdown or if there is any leakage in the pipe, who will mend for it. So these are the points that has to come, the answers for these has to come from the community. So a community meeting is one of the assessment techniques. There are certain advantages. I am not going down to the details of these advantages. Next. Next is the asset inventory. Suppose you want to do something in a hospital. So you must know that what are the assets that the hospital has. Then only you can decide whether you want to put a dialysis unit, or you buy an X-ray machine, or you go for a blood bank. So what are the assets that have? Otherwise you cannot go into the hospital and tell that I am interested in donating an X-ray machine to you. Or during the COVID situation, I want to donate 6 oximeters. Maybe they are not requiring it. So asset inventory, wherever you go, you must have asset inventory, very important. You have to have an inventory, then only you can decide what you want to give, then only the costing will come. And for various global grants, various types of assessment techniques are used. The same technique may not be used for water and sanitation, the same technique may not be used for putting up a blood bank, or may not be putting up a housing colony or something like that. Next. The third is the survey. If you go for a big project, then survey is one of the most important things. Suppose you want to make some low cost hutments in some area. So to make a low cost hutment, you need water to sustain it, you need roads, you need this. So these surveys can be done in a remote administrative office. So this doesn't need any community assessment. Community assessment means you need not talk to the beneficiaries directly. Next. The fourth assessment technique is the interview. You can go to the community and start interviewing people. Not only the illiterate people, not only the poor people, even the village leaders, even the administrators in the cities or the villages, they are also people whom you can interview to know what are the things that the area or the village or the community needs. Next. The fifth one is the focus group. What is a focus group? Focus group is like you can engage some road actors to form a group so that they can do the survey on your behalf. You can have a group of local administrators who can make a survey on your behalf, and they can interact with the beneficiaries directly. Next. And finally, the sixth assessment is the community mapping. Community mapping is a very unique technique where some statistical data is generated through some preconceived questions. Suppose the similar thing happens during the consensus. The people come into your house and they go for a data sheet and they write, and then finally some outcome comes. So community mapping is something like that. This is a bit long, it takes some time, but though the activity is very encouraging and very engaging activity. So these are the 6 techniques for various types of global grants, for various types of grants. Even this can be used in district grants. For various types of grants, various techniques can be used. Even 2 techniques can be used for 1 grant. So this takes care of the community needs. Now I will go for a typical case study for a basic education and literacy global grant. Actually, just to give a brief introduction to it, I had gone to a local school to get a WINS project in the tune of 1.5 lakhs. It was a, I think, district grant project. So when I went to the school, I went and told them that I want to go through your toilets and this, whether you need something like that. I have got something this in mind, and money has come for this from my district, and I want to spend this money in your toilets and bathrooms. If you have running water in the toilets, if you have the toilets clean, or if you don't have a overhead tank, I can put a pipeline to it. So these were the things which I had in mind, and I went to that school. This is a local school in Durgapur. This is a higher secondary school catering to about 1,000 students, girls and boys. After I went to the school, I had a typical needs assessment. I had talked to the students of the school, the teachers of the school, the headmaster and the assistant headmaster of the school. So 3 groups of people I had talked to. The students from class 5 to 8, they had a different type of problem. The students of class 9 and 10, they had some other problem. The students of 11 and 12, who are more mature, they had a different problem. The teachers had a different set of problems, and the headmaster had a completely different problem. So I had gone to make their bathroom clean, and this is what my next, and this is what my outcome was. I will just read it out, I think you will understand. For class 5 and 8, if you go to the left, 40 students I had interviewed. They told that they have got no place to have their midday meal. The students, and that is what I saw also, the students flock in groups at the school building sheds or school veranda on dry days, and on rainy days they even have to skip their meal. So the students of class 5 to 8 who get midday meal, they don't have any proper place to have their midday meal, and I had gone to make their bathroom clean. So you can understand the total paradox in my thought. The class 5 to 8 students told me many benches in their class have broken down, and the students are forced to sit cramped in existing benches. So they just told me their problems. I just kept noting it down. The students of class 9 and 10, they had a different problem. They told they don't have a proper cycle stand. Now come on, they don't have a proper cycle stand. So what happens? Their cycles are kept at the corner of the field under the sun and rain. Frequently their cycles get out of order with punctured tires. Hence they are unable to attend schools or get late to return home. Being poor, the recurring cycle repairing at times become out of means for them. What a typical problem for a poor student. The class 9 and 10 students also told me the science laboratories, namely physics, chemistry and biology, are in shambles. Basic infrastructure are absent, obsolete to impart proper laboratory training to the students before the board exams. The students are unable to fetch good marks due to lack of proper training. So these are the problems that came to their mind. Now the students of class 11 and 12, I could get 20 students, 10 from each class. The girl students complained of unhygienic toilets with no water flushing. The same issue was raised by the girl students of class 9 and 10 also. Lack of proper library facility to borrow books for studying was also an issue raised by many. The students being poor, they can't afford new books which are rather costly. So 3 students of 3 classes, they had raised their issues, that what the shortcomings in their school were. Next, I went to the teachers. See, about 5 teachers I could communicate and take a survey. The first teacher told, the computer teacher pointed out that though they have basic education in computer in the curriculum, they are unable to impart proper training due to non-availability of computers. Why? They had received some desktop computers from IBM through a government scheme about 10 years back. These are now gathering dust because most of them are now beyond repair. So gone. Typical issues. These happen in every school. The teacher who takes an active part in the extracurricular activities of the school told us that some students are very good in skits and recitation, but the school doesn't have any place for their practice and performing the same in front of the students and their parents, which is very frustrating. Because education doesn't mean reading from the book. It means a total development of a child. It means making them into extracurricular activities, sports, everything. Education is including all these 3 things. So this teacher, he laments that there are so many good students who can do very good plays, who can go to skits, who can do this and that, but nowhere they can perform, and they don't have any opportunity to have any annual day or something like that. A senior teacher, when asked about the future standing of the students after passing out of the school, she replied that most of the students are extremely weak in communicating in English. Another problem. Though they are taught English as a second language, medium of instruction being Bengali, the students lack expressing them in English. Hence, they lag behind the students who study English as a first language in other schools. So this is what the feedback the teachers got after the students have gone out of the school. The 4th one, the sports teacher, he lamented of the absence of any basic facility in the form of physical training. He wished to have a pair of drums for the march past drills to instill discipline among the students. Very important to have a march past or something like that, so that the students get disciplined at the beat of the drum. The yoga classes and gymnastic lessons, of which he has special talents to teach the students in the free periods, is another area of lacuna in the basic education of sports and amenities. And finally, the lady teachers pointed out that if the tribal girl students can be given some basic education on sewing and knitting, they can develop themselves further and percolate the same into their family and community as a source of secondary income. So see, I went to make their toilet with float tiles, with a drinking water line, and these are the results of my survey. So my district grant project turned into a global grant. And global grant on what? From wash or wins in school, water and sanitation to basic education and literacy. Next. The headmaster and the assistant headmaster, they had a different administrative issue. Yeah, okay. The headmaster and the assistant headmaster told that they have the inability to supply enough drinking water to the students, some administrative problems. The assistant headmaster pointed out the school lacked any assembly point for the headmaster to address all the students at a time. So these are the issues of them. Lack of any shaded dining hall was another issue to have their midday meal. The fifth one is the distribution of drinking water disposal points. So they have a drinking water taps, but the numbers are so less that during the tiffin hours, the bigger boys bullies the smaller boys and they don't get time to have water. The lack of any proper storeroom with efficient filing system is the issue for frequent displacement of school records. The issues of a headmaster. The headmaster ruled the absence of a smart class facility which many schools in the district possess. And finally, the assistant headmaster told that the school being very big, they requires a public address system. So, a variety of problems which can be clubbed into a basic education and literacy global grant and can be addressed to. So, looking at these problems, suppose we do a needs survey, then you have to fix your goal. What is your goal? Next. The community needs survey has been done. Now we have to fix up the goal of the project to achieve the assessed benefits, and finally the sustainability of the goal and successful completion of the project. Next. I will not go into the details, but I will just read out the goals that we have planned in the global grant. The erection of a top covered galvanized tin sheeting. This is a temporary structure. Mind you, permanent structures are not allowed in a global grant. Only you can have a temporary tin shed or a structure with 3 sides open or 4 sides open. With 3 sides open and an elevated stage on the 4th side, the total shaded area will be this square feet. 2 additional locker rooms with false ceiling will be constructed for extracurricular activities and vocational training activities. So you can well understand which points that needs assessment has been done, has been taken care of. Next. An additional underground water reservoir will be constructed to cater to the water needs. Construction of hand washing stations to be constructed for 4 corners of the school to distribute the students in the entire school, and everybody should not flock to one area. The conversion of an existing schoolroom into a smart class with laptop and projector. The computer room needs renovation with addition of 10 new computers. Conversion of one existing room into the school record room with new racks and filing system. One of the school rooms to be converted into a library. Old books will be collected from the society and kept in the library. A cycle stand will be constructed at a suitable place within the premises of the school. The revamping of the school laboratory, the science laboratory will be taken up. So these are all activities and all the needs have been taken care of. A cycle shed will help in reduction in absenteeism in the school. So this is also one of the goals. Next. So once the goal is fixed and the need is assessed from the beneficiaries, we go to the final part, that is the sustainability of the global grant. After the global grant is completed, the answers to the following questions takes care of the sustainability of the project. To whom the project will be handed over to. After you do all this, who will take care of them? I am telling you, not from this basic education, or don't take this example into account. Suppose you have given a tube wells to the villagers. Who is taking care of them? To whom the project will be handed over to is very important. Number 2, does he or the community have any expertise to operate or maintain the equipments supplied in the project? To Guwahati Club Fluids answer, this answer is no. They have no expertise to operate or maintain the equipments because training was not included in that grant. You have to have training, otherwise you are gone. If they are not well trained. In many villages where I have done this water and sanitation projects, I always look for the plumber, whether the village has a plumber or not. And that is one of the assessment tools. The asset of the village is 2 or 3 plumbers who can take care of that tube well or the piping line. Who will buy and replace the spares required for the maintenance, and what is the source of funding? Again, who will fund the project? Who will fund the project for the maintenance? So these answers must be ready, and you must get it from the needs assessment. Whenever you do, you must get it ready from the community or the beneficiaries. And finally, a proper training of the beneficiaries is the most important key to make a project sustainable. The major issues of a successful training modules are the objective and curriculum of the training should be clear. How long is the training program? Is it a one-time or a repetitive training? Because whenever you do certain global grants, you are changing the behavior of the people of that village or that community. So whenever there is a change in behavior, you need proper training and follow-up trainings. Who is imparting the training and its qualification? How many men and women are targeted to get trained? And how will the participants demonstrate their new skill and knowledge? These questions you will have to answer whenever you apply for the global grants. Next. Thank you.
Excellent Rotary and Indian. Yeah, one round of applause for him, because ultimately this grant is not even could not be matured because of the paucity of DDF by the district, and he got an international partner also, and I felt very sorry about it. But lately I came to know from his president that somebody wants to become the major donor by donating $10,000. Can it be directed to this global grant? I said yes, it can be directed to this global grant, and you can go for this global grant. And I'm sure if had this been global grant been submitted with the funding summary and everything, whatever the need assessment he has done, it will get approved. I'm 100% sure about it. But friends, let me know after listening to this session, how many of you are interested for the global grant? Please raise your hand. Oh, quite a good number. Rotary and Indranil, you are very successful. Now we are going to listen to our district Guruji on grants, PDG Ashok Agarwala. Have patience and enhance your knowledge about the grant, listening to PDG Ashok Agarwala.
I'm not really going to cover the whole of grant, so don't worry on that. I'm just going to cover to find an international partner, one of the vexing problems in a global grant. But before going in for international partner, please look into your club and look into your heart to see how many of you are really totally dedicated for doing a global grant. Because it's the manpower which I find lacking more than anything else. All these things which have been explained can be obtained from either Rotary grant site or by listening to the people. But finding the right person with passion for doing global grants, because it needs a lot of hard work. I mean, do not ever deceive yourself in thinking that a global grant can be done just like that. It needs a lot of hard work. So how many of you are really keen to put in that hard work is the most single important criteria, I believe. If you have a goal or if you have a dream, the whole universe will conspire to make your dream real. If you have a dream, the whole universe will conspire to make your dream real. And that is a universal truth. So if someone is really sold on the idea of doing a global grant, they can do it. Anyway, coming back to international partner. As Arijit mentioned right in the very beginning, that you must have, gentlemen, excuse me, gentlemen. If you are talking something which is more important than what I am saying, please come over and take up my issue. I don't mind that. I would not really like any talking in the back. If someone is interested in talking, they can go out, no problem. But you are not only disturbing me, but you are disturbing all the other people who are keen. So please refrain from doing that. I'm sorry for being a little harsh, but it has been going on for quite some time now. So you need an international partner.
Sir.
You need an international partner,
Sir.
and the minimum contribution from that partner has to be 15% at least. It can be higher. It can be even 100%. But if it is a 100% one, we will scrutinize that before passing. Because many a times it has been found in other districts, not so far in our district. Like if you are a doctor, you have a hospital, you want to do a global grant for your own hospital, benefiting your own hospital, rather than doing a public service. So we are not going to allow that in our district. Okay? So now, first slide. International partner, how do you find them? There are many methods you can find international partners. The best is getting into this website, the first one I have written, and putting up your project there. The whole project has to be put up there. It is a site developed by one of the Rotarians in San Diego, and it has been going on since the time of matching grants. It's been converted into global grants and is in synchronization with the grants application of Rotary International Foundation. So it's a very good site, but you see, because it's a good site and because it is a site where anyone can see who needs an international partner and the amount of money which is needed, so many applications come there. So it's easier to get the funding if you have a friend somewhere. Otherwise, you'll have to wait, maybe depending on your project and the type of impact that project might have, some people might come forward. But it's a very good site. You can showcase your project in Rotary website. So there, someone may get interested and come forward as a partner. Your past governors can be your resource persons, but that is just for the sake of saying not many past governors can actually become resource persons. I can be one. I can be a resource person. He can be one. And now he is the DISC, District International Service Chair. So District International Service Chair gets a directory.
Please stand up and introduce yourself.
District International Service Chair, he gets all over the world service chairs directory along with their telephone number and email ID. So what he has to do is once your project goes to him, he can say send a few letters to some of the possible partners, and some of them might come forward to help your project. So that is a very good thing Rotary International has started doing since 2016. So he is our DISC. Recently, in the last institute, a discussion was taking place that many clubs cannot find international partners. And some clubs are doing 10 projects at a time. Like Shekhar Mehta's club in Kolkata Mahanagar, they do 10 projects at a time. So the question was asked, and they have said the directors will help you find international partners. So next time director, he had come, so he is going to be the director. So catch hold of him, that get me a partner. And you have to really go after him. It's just by saying get me a partner will not do. You have to be like a leech. Don't let it go away just like that. You go after it. Your TRF trustees, they can be a good source. But one of the problems the TRF trustees are little afraid is that you may not submit the report in time. Then they lose face. The international partner do not get a project, because the project reporting is due, you do not get a project. You do not get a project, that's not his botheration. He loses his face, that's his botheration. And the international partner doesn't get a project because of non-compliance from your side is a big problem. So that is why when I had requested one of the directors, one of the past trustees for getting me an international partner, he is point blank refused because he had a bitter experience on this. One of the guys whom he had helped, they did not submit the report on time. So this problem you have to overcome. If you can convince that yes, you are a trustworthy Rotarian, you will do the projects in time and you will put up the report on time, then probably he will help you. Next. LinkedIn. There is a Rotary LinkedIn site. There are many Rotarians in that LinkedIn page. You can just become a friend with them. Not straight away go for a grant sponsor. Become a friend. And over a period of time, when you see the friendship is growing up, you can just broach the subject. Would you be interested? International webinars. This is something which I have recently experienced. You see, many international webinars is going on nowadays online. And in that webinar, sometimes at least 2-3 persons out of say maybe 50 or 60 who are participating, they comment in the chat section that we are interested in doing global grant projects. If anyone is interested, please contact me. So that could be a very good source. That could be a very good source. I have been able to note down at least 3-4 such people who are interested in a global grant project and who are looking for partners. So that could be a very good source. So participate in that international webinars. Project fair. Project fair, you see, nowadays online project fair is going on. There are 6 project fairs which are coming up online. And if you go to Rotary website, you can see all the project fairs which are due to come up next. So in that project fair, online project fair, you will definitely get an international partner. Because the fair is only for finding out an international partner. So that's another very, very good source for finding out an international partner. Project fair, just participate. Even if you are not having any project in your hand at the moment, just participate in these project fairs and see how they go. You will learn a lot. Visit Rotary clubs while you are traveling abroad. Many of you travel abroad. Definitely make it a point to find out which club is nearby and go and attend that club. Make friendship. Exchange greetings on a regular basis. Over a period of time, they become your close friends. Maybe a sister club relationship builds up. And then approach them for a project. Not straight away, just after meeting, you ask for money. That is not the way. Rotary Convention. Attend Rotary Convention. Houston Convention is coming up. Rather than moving around in your own group in the convention, go out and meet others whom you haven't met. Make friendship with them. Most of the time what we do is that we go in a group, we move around in the convention venue in a group, we don't talk to anybody else, we just exchange maybe flags or banners or pins, and then we go out for visiting some interesting spots. That's what we most of the time, that's what most of the people do. But that's not the purpose. If you are going to a convention, make friends with Rotarians who are unknown to you. There are different stalls in the House of Friendship where different kinds of projects are being highlighted. Very knowledgeable Rotarians man those stalls. Talk to them. Show interest in their own project. try to understand what they are doing, make friendship with them. So making friendship is the primary step for getting international partners. Initially, in earlier days, before 2010, we used to have GSE teams coming in our district on a regular basis. So we would make friendship with the GSE team, and that is how we could develop friendship with many districts and got international partners to them. But that's off now. So our connection with international Rotary is through all these other avenues. So make use of those avenues and you will get international partners. Sometimes you can have district assemblies if you are trying, if you are attending district assemblies abroad. Your neighboring international district. See, international doesn't really mean that it has to be West or it has to be Japan or Australia. Even Bangladesh is international. Even Bhutan is international. Even your Nepal is international. So these are neighboring countries who are like us. And we have a very close relationship with them. So you can do, even on a reciprocal basis, we do projects with them. Like we are giving $5,000 to them for their project, and they are giving $5,000 to us for our project. Both the countries are benefiting, and we are doing international projects. So that could be another way of getting an international partner. Friendship exchange could be a very good thing. Again, friendship, as I said, making a friend. So friendship exchange could be a very good source for getting an international partner. And joining Rotary Action Group, RAG. There are, I think, 60 or so different action groups in Rotary. You get the list in Rotary website. You join any of those action groups which are of say interest to you. And again, when you are joining, similarly interested people are already there. So if you want to do a project on, say, maternity and child health, so there is an action group, similar line. So you join that group, and obviously the people who are already there are all interested in maternity and child health. So if you want to do an international project for maternity and child health, and if you start exchanging the ideas, you will immediately get an international. Similarly for water and sanitation. It becomes much easier if you become a RAG member. It costs you about $25 to become, on an average $25. Some of the groups don't require any money, but some others require some more maybe. But $25 on an average is the annual expenditure for becoming a member of RAG. So these are some of the how you get international partners. Now, please next. See, these are the areas where we are going to have project fairs. This is very difficult to read, even for me. So there is one in Egypt, there is one in Peru, yes, there is one, all these are there in the Rotary website. So you just, Equator. So they are online, all of them are online. So you can join any of those project fairs, and you can see how it moves. Now, you got an international partner. You have to cultivate them so that even in future you can have some more projects with them. I have a friend in USA with whom we have already done 4 or 5 global grant projects with the same partner, because we have cultivated our friendship. So that cultivating international partner requires all of these. So just go through them. It's very important to maintain. You see, nurturing a relationship is very important. Number one, making a relationship, and then nurturing a relationship. Relationship otherwise wither. If you don't nurture a plant, it will wither away. Similarly is the relationship. Even amongst the close friends, it becomes difficult if you don't nurture a friendship, then the friendship also withers. Similarly, international partnership has to be nurtured. Next. International projects require a lot of teamwork. Assessment very nicely explained by Indranil. You have seen that. Authorizing, you see, DRFC is here, governor is here. They will be authorizing your global grant application. Various stages of implementation. All of them, all these stages will require a teamwork. Because you will be requiring the DRFC, you will be requiring the governor-elect or governor when he becomes, you will be requiring DISC, you will be requiring club president. All of them, the whole team has to move in sync. Only then the project can be done. Next. Delegation of authority. One person, as I said earlier, right in the very beginning, one person has to take the entire responsibility till the project is completed. From the very inception of the project to its completion, one man should be the head, should be the leader, should be the prime mover, should be the fulcrum of the entire project. Only then the project will move smoothly. And the primary contact, he should be the primary contact. He should be the primary contact. He should be answering all the emails immediately. He should be honest, totally transparent. There should nothing be hidden from your international partners. Everything should be absolutely transparent. Next. Never make a beeline for being photographed with dignitaries. This is a general weakness we find amongst us. So please try to avoid it. Next. Accountability, transparency, performance, prompt communication, updating partners on club affairs, sharing information spontaneously. These are the attributes which are required to maintain a good relationship with your international partner. Never take a shortcut to grab a project. I think most of you have understood by now that doing a global grant project requires a lot of passion, a lot of hard work. So do not try to, cut the corner and just for the sake of a photograph, you try to do a project. No. If you really feel, if that empathy is there in your heart, if you feel for the community, and if you feel that passion in you, yes, definitely go ahead. No hindrance will be a hindrance then. All other hindrances will just melt. You will find international partners. If you don't find any, come to me. I'll find for you. Or go to Prabhatji. Okay. Anything else? I don't think there's any other. A satisfied international partner will introduce you to 10 new partners. Thank you very much.
of wisdom from our first DRFC, Ashoka Garwala, PDG Ashoka Garwala. Friends, very quickly in 5 minutes time, Abhishek Jitani will take you around this, how to apply online this global grant. And here in my hand, out of 53 clubs of this who are supposed to attend this seminar, only 25 have come and attended. I could see many other clubs, even the host club president is sitting here. You should write your name and if you have brought the MOU, you should submit it. Or anybody is yet to submit, you give your name, put your name, and we'll keep this MOU wanting, accounts wanting. We'll give very short time to the clubs to submit the accounts who could not bring it right at this moment. And because you see, this time district grant project we are going to complete in this month of April. In this month of April, because I want to apply for the district grant project for 2023 within July.
Very good. Great.
Within July, that is the timeline I have taken the target. And I got full cooperation from the clubs who are participating in the district grant project. And of course, the global grant project, if you want to go for, is there. Please sign it. I'll complete it. Please, Abhishek.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, DRFC past District Governor Arijit Endo. Though, as Indranil was saying that his legs were shivering, might shiver, mine is already shivering because my chance coming after all the brilliant speakers and knowledgeable Rotarians about the Rotary Foundation. This is my debut speech related to Rotary Foundation in a grant management seminar. So anyways, coming to the online tools which we have regarding the Rotary Foundation. As we have heard about the district grant, global grants and everything, first the foremost important thing is that we also need to contribute towards the Rotary Foundation. There is always a big confusion in the district that how do we make our contribution to the Rotary Foundation. So I will just quickly go through it. Next. There are only two ways to contribute to the Rotary Foundation. One is by check or demand draft to Rotary South Asia office, and other is to our mother website, that is www.rotary.org. If we are sending a demand draft or check, the beneficiary will be the Rotary Foundation in bracket India, the amount, and then on the back side of the check, we need to mention our name, membership ID, club name, club ID. Then this is a form EN123 which is available online on rotary.org. We need to fill this form, the Rotary Foundation contribution form. We need to fill these details. And then we need to send it along with a covering letter. We need to send it to the Rotary South Asia office. Please remember that giving your PAN card details is very important. Unless and until you give your PAN card detail, even if you are contributing ₹100 to the Rotary Foundation, you will not get the credit of that amount nowadays. PAN card details are mandatory for any contribution you make to the Rotary Foundation. Now, how do we donate? This is the modern way and it is very easy. Within 2 days, your amount will be reflecting in your My Rotary account and against your name, whatever you have donated. So we can donate it through www.rotary.org. We need to sign in into our My Rotary account. Click on donate. We can see an option there. Click on donate. We will get 4 different options. First is featured causes. Under featured causes, there are 5 different options where we can donate: annual fund, polio fund, world fund, miles to end polio, disaster response fund. Generally, we give our contributions to the annual fund. We can even donate our money for any particular area of focus also, like what are the different 7 areas of focus we can select and we can give the money there also. For any endowment, if we are funding, through this option we can contribute to the endowment. Now this is very important. If I correctly remember, after Indranil the speech, DRFC Arijit Endo said that due to the lack of the DDF, that global grant could not be materialized that time. But later on, when a Rotarian from that club was willing to become a major donor, so it will be a directed fund to, if you are giving any directed fund to any particular global grant, then this is the option. Here you need to type the global grant number in which you are giving the directed fund, and then you can pay through here for the directed fund to any global grant. Now you will see when you select your options, then different options will be coming. Whether your donation you are giving in honor of someone, or whether this donation you are doing it on your behalf of your club members. You can select the currency, whatever amount you are giving. In case you are giving it for your members, you can select on behalf of which member you are contributing the fund. Then your personal information, your PAN card details, your name, mobile number, email ID, etc., where you will get the receipt. Two options are there to make the payment, either net banking or through your card. In the website, you will just see one option there, written credit card. But in going through that option, you can even make the payment by the debit card also. Now, if you are using the option of debit card, please be sure that this address which is there, it should exactly match as per your bank account. Exactly the same. Even if a single comma is also here and there, the payment will not be accepted if it's through debit card. Credit card and net banking, no issue. For debit card, even a comma has to match. Comma or a post or PS, whatever is there. And then you can contribute your amount. Now, we are talking about applying of global grants online, and it can be only done through the Rotary website, that is rotary.org. How do we apply for a global grant? For global grant, we need to open the Rotary website. We go to the Rotary Foundation, apply for grants, and there is Grant Center. We need to click on the Grant Center. When we click on the Grant Center, this is the page that we will get. Up there you can see an option, apply for a grant. When you click on apply for a grant, this is the global grant form that you all will be getting. This will be the global grant form that you all will be getting.
Hi. Sure. My pleasure.
2 minutes.
So this is the global grant form that you will be getting. We need to give the title of the project, what type of projects we are planning to take, whether it is a humanitarian project or any kind of vocational training program. Now there are 12 different steps. There are 12 different steps to complete a global grant application from. Starting from first, we need to select who is the primary contact of that particular global grant. If suppose any club is doing, for example, Rotary Club of Silchar is doing, and PDG Arijit Endo is the primary contact of that global grant, his name has to be updated there by adding primary contact. Then in the next you will see committee members. Like we will have secondary contacts also. We will have a primary contact from the international partner also. They will also have secondary contacts. All those details will go under the community project committee members. Then project overview. They will be asking details related to your project, how you are going to do, what are the, in detail you have to give the project overview. Area of focus. Which area of focus your global grant project is meant to be. Measuring success. I guess it was very much clear when Indranilda was giving his presentation. There are different formulas given there, how we are measuring our community assessment and everything. Those all things are under this measuring success thing. Location and dates, which is the location of our project, and what are the dates when we are going to start the project, by when we expect it to be over. Participants, who will be the beneficiaries, who will be participating in the project in case we are taking the help of any other NGO or any other organization along with the Rotary Club. Budget, what is the budget of our project? Funding, how we are thinking of generating the fund, like what will be our share, what is the cash contribution, if we are getting the DDF, what is the DDF amount, what amount we are expecting from the Rotary Foundation to match. Sustainability. Once again, sustainability, it has been already discussed, like how do we think how the project is going to be a sustainable project. There are again different questions, 12, 13 different questions are there under which we need to answer all those questions related to our project. Documents, supporting documents like quotation, our community survey form, etc. needs to be uploaded here. Then we finalize our project, review and lock it. Done. After that, we cannot make changes to our global grant application. Before that, there is an option called save, and you can just close the Rotary website. Then after 2 days again you sit, you can still edit it, but once you review and lock, you cannot change your application. And then it goes to the authorization to the DRFC and the district governor of the host district as well as the international district. So this is basically how we apply for the global grant. Since the time was very short, I could not get into much details. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Since we have overshoot the timeline allotted to us, the question answer will not be there, but I assure you, please come directly to me or the committee, foundation committee, with any of your any question having in your mind, directly come to us and we will try to sort it out one to one. I assure you. no, but he is standing over there. But then, you should know your foundation committee will be working with the grant. As you know that I am speaking in front of you, DRFC, you should know who is the district grant chair. He is PDG Devashish Das. You should know the headmaster of this grant committee, PDG Ashok Agarwala, stewardship, nothing doing, no 1 millimeter this way, that way. So I'm very happy that he is there in our committee. And DISC is Prabhat Kedia. So you can come up with any question coming in your mind after this session directly with any of us. Okay, we have many other subcommittees. We will be working as per the guidelines. The subcommittee is formed in the foundation of the district, and they will be working in their own field. Now, the last agenda is expression of gratitude. Those who were passionately listening to the resource persons. I request Vice President Shubir Roy, the MOC of this evening, to express his gratitude, perform this expression of gratitude.
Thank you, DRFC, Yorijit. Now the time for expression of gratitude. I know the grant management seminar is completed with a very successful method, and when the stalwarts of the district like PDG Ashok Agarwal, PDG Prabhat Kedia and PDG Orijit Tendo and the team are there, so it is very successful, I think. Now may I request Assembly Chair Shivli, where are you? Shivli are here? If Shivli is not here, may I call President Jumurai to come on the stage. Shivli is here. Shivli, please. Stage it. Moment to the stage. Please, I request Assembly Chair Shivli to be the stage. May I request DRFC PDG Orijit Tendo, please take a small memento as a token of love from our side. Next, I request PDG Ashok Agarwal to be here. May I request Club President Jumurai to be here. May I request PDG Prabhat Kedia. Prabhat ji, please आइए. Please hand over our small memento as a token of love, affection. May I call Idoril Mukherjee. Yes. May I request Vice President Chanchal Ghosh here. Now may I request Abhishek Jitani, Vice President Abhishek Jitani to be here. Thank you everyone. Now our interesting session will be start very soon, and may I call our PDG Shapun Chaudhary to take over the mic for the further proceeding. Friend, please be seated. Now the program will be start by 2-3 minutes.
I think you must be tired by this time. We have started the program at 2:30 and we are still continuing. But here I have a great responsibility to talk to some of the dignitaries present here. Good evening, Rotarian friends, guests, and my wonderful family of Rotary. We have heard many a times and we have believed. We have heard many a times from different training sessions and we have believed that assistant governors and the presidents are the heart and eyes of the serving governor. And if the serving governor's heart is healthy and eye vision is normal, the governor can run a long distance of success for himself and success for Rotary district he is serving as a governor. And nothing can stop him in achieving all those that he has thought of achieving during his year of governorship. Friends, heart and eyes, these are two very important links of human. It was the brainchild of our friend Rotarian Subir Roy. Where is Subir? Subir, it was the brainchild of Rotarian Subir Roy, who once told me that let us talk to someone who is the expert in these two subjects, heart and eye. And I got the clue. I am an opportunist person. I got the clue. And we decided to take it as a subject for discussion this evening in front of all the learned Rotarian friends who are present here. So friends, it's a great pleasure for me that I have been given the responsibility by District Governor-elect Dr. Bobby and the organizing committee of Anudhaban, Durgapur, to have amongst us a guest today who always believed that if your heart is healthy, your determination is strong, your goals are fixed, and you want to cover a long destination of life, nothing can be a bottleneck for you. Friends, you got me right. Yes, I am going to have the privilege to have a man who is an example of a man who climbed the highest peak of success just from a scratch. And today, there are many prestigious awards that he has been awarded, he has been honored with. And very recently, he has been honored with a very prestigious Legend of Bengal Award. Friends, can I have silence please from the back, please? Excuse me, volunteers, please see that they are silent, please. Now let me invite upon a person who is an institute in himself, a Rotarian outside Rotary clubs, a man who has very carefully built his career with almost no compromises of any situation in his life. He is none other than our very respected Dr. Satyajit Bose, the chairman of Mission Hospital. May I request Rotarian Subir Roy to please escort Dr. Bose to the dais and acknowledge him. Subir, please escort Dr. Bose to the dais and acknowledge him.
Please. Sir.
Please put your hands together for Dr. Bose. Can I see gentlemen, please take your seat. Can I see you there in the seat, please? Please make some discipline. We have a guest with us this evening. Please. Welcome, Dr. Bose. Here's a mic for you. Please welcome Dr. Bose with the... Yes. Dr. Bose, you have a mic in front of you. You can pick it up. Friends, I am very happy that Dr. Bose is here with us. And we also have, I'm very happy to have that we have one Rotarian friends amongst us. I'm sorry, I missed the link. We also have a Rotarian friends who have recently joined our Rotary movement through her membership in Rotary Club of Durgapur. I was talking about heart and eyes. Heart is here in front of us on the dais. We are looking for an expert in eye. So we have our Rotarian friends who have joined the Durgapur Smart City as a member of the club. And I was very happy to induct this women in Rotary. Yes, may I now request Dr. Priyanshi Chatterjee. Rotarian Dr. Priyanshi Chatterjee, I must say. Priyangsha, please introduce yourself. She is the daughter-in-law of Dr. Bose, and she is the chairperson of the very first multi-specialty eye hospital at Durgapur, Dimit Eye Hospital. I welcome you to this stage to join this program along with Dr. Bose. Priyangsha, thank you for coming. Well, so the first question, Dr. Bose, is for you, that we have all heard about you. Your life, your struggling life, of course, your struggling life. Our Rotarian would like to explore more about you. Could you tell us something about your childhood, your education, your family background, and your school days?
Well, good evening, everybody. It's a great opportunity to be with all of you, and I'm really overwhelmed to see all of us, so many of my friends, Kushanogda and Rintu and PDG Ashok Agarwal and so many of you. I mean, all of my friends. I see some of my patients who have done a bypass. And but one thing I've learned from Rotary is service above self. I think this is the best thing. I've been very close to Rotary. I've been close to Ashokda. I've been so many. I mean, Shekhar and Mr. Past Rotary. I think Kamal Sangvi and Anudhaban, is he around?
Yeah.
He's gone to, he was telling me he'll go to some place. So yeah, so essentially I think that is the biggest, one of the best lessons that I learned from Rotary, and that actually led me to do a lot of programs with Rotary Heart to Heart. The first thing we did, we operated upon nearly 50 children from Manipur. And there was a film made by one of the Manipur filmmaker, and that actually went on to make win one of the national awards in the short films. Yes, Silver Lotus. Yeah, and so many other programs I wrote along with Shekhar. We did with Rotary Mahanagar, and so many other. The doors opened up, and we could do surgery for children from Pakistan, from Afghanistan, from Nigeria, from Ghana, all because of Rotary. And that opened the doors for us actually. So I'm really indebted. And going back to my childhood, it's not a very nice experience to tell. Well, I was brought up in central Calcutta in a very low middle class household. And I'm not very ashamed of it, a broken family. And I studied in a good school. My grandmother put me to a good school, and we sometimes struggled to pay up the fees sometimes also. But yeah. We were happy then also, we are happy now also. I've always been a happy man, a happy child and whatever. Things started becoming difficult when I was in class 11, and demands of life were such that I had taken up a sales job in a company called Fedders Lloyd, in which I did school from 8 to 1:30, and from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock I used to work as a sales guy in company called Fedders Lloyd, with their office in Royd Street, and I used to sell Zenith air conditioners and refrigerators. And I did very well in that, and I could look after my financial needs, and study at the same time also till I got into one of these professional courses. And but that's what I keep on telling people, that don't ever be scared of stress, because stress brings out the best within you. And please deal with stress with positivity, not with negativity, because stress brings out the best. Even if you want to develop hand muscles, you have to give the hand stress, then you have to develop muscles. So mentally also, stress makes you stronger, stress makes you focused, stress makes you go for the best. And that's, I think, and the earlier in life you feel, get the stress of life, makes you more comfortable later in life. So I think God was very kind to me to give stress to me in early life, so that I could, later on in life, when any stress came my way, I didn't feel anything, I laughed it out. So that way I think it was a good experience of getting stressed when I was a child.
Thank you, Dr. Bose. The next question is, I have also heard that you joined IIT Kharagpur to study engineering, but you become a doctor. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in the hall, please tell me, does any engineering college produce a doctor? Yes or no? No? Then how come you become a doctor by joining a college called IIT College in Kharagpur?
I'll tell you one thing. Basically, in those days, we took up, whenever we were in class 11, we took up science and biology and mathematics together. So I wrote all the exams, but I got in everything. I got in medical college. I was ranked 28, so I got in medical college. I got in Jadavpur Engineering College. I got in B Pharma also. I got in Indian School of Mines. And I ranked very poorly in the IIT entrance. In those days, 1700 was a very bad rank. And so I didn't take up. And historically, my grandfather was the principal of medical college, Dr. Sudhir Bose. And he died early, so there was financial problem in my life. So we used to live in Bowbazar, and at that time I used to smoke. So I used to say that cigarette distance from Bowbazar to medical college, so better take up. So that's how I decided to be a doctor. And I did repent for quite some time when I found my friends who had ultimately done engineering, and they would go overseas and take snaps with buying second-hand imported big Impalas and all that. And we used to get a salary of 600 rupees for the internship. And I was like, Baka chile chilam bole, very early I got married also, so I was having problem all around. So yeah, that's what.
For the audience, let me give you a clue that if you want your child to be a doctor, please get his or her admitted in IIT. Okay? Is it the message, Dr. Bose?
No, it's not the message. Message is that if you have children at home, I think all of them should be given, they should be taught a few things, like, number one, everybody should have focus, everybody should have self-esteem. That self-esteem, there is a very thin line. Sorry, music coming, but there is a very thin line between self-esteem and ego. So, what education, being literate teaches us to have a lot of big, fat ego. But being truly educated gives us self-esteem but sheds this ego. And we should all teach our children to be humble, have self-esteem, but not to have ego. Be strong, be focused, be honest, be disciplined. And it is not important to be very intelligent, let me tell you, sir. It is not important. I am not an intelligent guy. But it is important to have very high emotional quotient, EQ, so that they can mix around. What BDG Ashokda was telling, that the various things he was telling about friendship and relationship, those are true in every aspect of life. We must meet friends when they don't need us, when I don't need them. And that is the basis of a true relationship. And so that sums up what you need as an emotional quotient. And the most important quotient, which we Bengalis mostly, most of them don't have, is good adversity quotient. When you are in an adverse situation, one should be able to deal with the adversity, and that we should teach all our children. It is not important to be a doctor. Tell me, Sachin Tendulkar, what is his education? He's class 10 pass, but he is the most famous guy. So he is maybe not literate, but he is very educated. And I think that education is the most important essence of life, and not being just literate. Just being literate is not.
Thank you, audience. Dr. Bose, I'm changing the question a little bit to a different angle. It was probably the year 2008, 2009 that he came to Durgapur with a mission. And as I remember, Durgapur was not a very developed city as it is today. How did you decide to come to Steel City of Durgapur? And when did you think that you should have a huge multi-specialty hospital like Mission Hospital at Durgapur, when it was not at all a potential city to have this kind of venture?
Thank you very much for this question, sir. Basically, I was trying to, when I was the chief cardiac surgeon in Apollo Clinicals in Calcutta, I always felt that there was a need of a nice hospital somewhere, where things would be done ethically, holistically, and all of that. So I was looking for a land in Calcutta and surrounding Calcutta. But unfortunately, my name did not end with a Shetty or a Reddy. So government did not give me land at 1 rupee. So they were asking me to buy land at phenomenal cost, and that does not bring the RI, the financial gains of the hospital. So it doesn't make it sustainable. So therefore we started, and then when I did further research, I found that the main cause, see what is the main problem with the healthcare scenario in our country today, in our state today? The problem is patient migration. There are enough good doctors in the state, enough good hospitals, mostly centered in Calcutta, in the state. But the problem is patient migration. Every patient that will come to me previously had a previous prescription of either Vellore or Apollo or some damn hospital. So that made me think that what is the solution to it? So basically, then I felt that healthcare should be decentralized. It should go away. Bhushanabha has done that in Bardhaman. So many other people have done it. But there was a need for a good state-of-the-art super specialty hospital so that there is a kind of, everything can be treated under one roof. So along with a few of my friends, we created the Mission Hospital. And this, in management parlance, is also called a blue ocean strategy. In red ocean strategy, what do people do? Acha okhane 40 ta mishtir dokan ache, amiyo ekta mishtir dokan dilam. So that's not the way. So what we did was blue ocean strategy, explored the unexplored. And we went into a place where there was nothing, where people died of a heart attack, of a road traffic accident with nowhere to go. So Durgapur had the potential. This is the place where there are a lot of educated people, a lot of people who needed the treatment, and therefore we did not want a small hospital, so we really did a big one. We took a huge amount of loan. 60 crores in 2008 was a huge loan. And in the first year of business, let me tell you, we made a loss of 17.5 crores. Anybody would have, lost his wit, lost his sleep. But what I did was, there are two things that I did. I paid all my people salary on the first day of every month, whatever way possible. And I paid my vendors in time. Because those are the two things who contribute to the hospital. So make those people happy. So when we did that, and I kept on, there is no village, no tehsil, no block that I've not gone and done a camp along with my team. And believe me, by the third year, we brushed away all the losses. And today's day, we are going to be 650 bedded in Durgapur. By the Akshaya Tritiya, we have the chain of diagnostic clinics in Asansol. We have multiple pharmacy clinics. We are going to start with cardiac hospital in Siliguri. We have acquired 10 acres of land in the BAPL, the Ondal, where we are going to come up with a 650 bedded only cancer hospital of its kind in Eastern India with a helipad on top and all of that. So that's the way, and we have kept our lives very simple. Simple in the sense that you see that boy, my son Rahul Bose, Dr. Rahul Bose, he's wearing a torn shoe. I just not, why don't you buy a good pair of shoes here? दरकार लिए नहीं खरीदे. So our family runs in the same way that we don't buy anything. We don't make luxury our necessities, and we try to live a simple life. We've been blessed with a granddaughter, Nishu, and we're enjoying life actually. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bose, but then I don't think it was just you set up the hospital in Durgapur when it was not a very developed city. Just for earning more money, because there are no hospital and the market was in the marketing terms. As you said, you have worked as a marketing man. In the terms of the market was virgin, or you had a dream to serve the mankind of Steel City and Coal Belt?
Well, I have no dreams. I don't see dreams actually. I see only practicalities. How to bring things under control. We did look at Durgapur because Durgapur had nothing. I was born in Durgapur. My father used to work in Durgapur steel plant for a brief period, and that is how I was born in Durgapur. But we they quickly moved to Calcutta, and so people know us as Calcasians. But deep rooted, I'm as much as the Durgapurian as much as you are. So we thought that we'd do something for Durgapur. See, I was earning much more money as a cardiac surgeon in Calcutta, where only the high-end money came to operate for me. And today 50% of my cases are from below poverty line, who sometimes sell their Goru and I would come and get operated. And we do a lot of charity for those people. Rotary has helped us, that has opened us many doors. There are many people who come and do charity in the form of heart surgery for children with us even now. And to make even Ravi is the guy who is the owner of that. No, Ravi Sehgal thing. Who's the Ravi Modi. Ravi Modi, who is the owner of Manyavar, he donates liberally for children. Whenever we have problems, we call him up and he donates. So there is a lot of other guys also who, but Rotary opened the gates. I'm very thankful to Rotary and everybody. And if I had to earn money, I would be still living in Mumbai where I started my career. But where each time you put a knife on skin, you earn in 6-7 figures. But yes, in Durgapur, I have got the recognition of being an entrepreneur and being able to look after people who needed us most. Not only Durgapur, the entire South Bengal. You look at Birbhum, you look at Murshidabad, Malda, you look at even Malda, Siliguri, for that matter, South and Northeast. So many people come to our hospital, and I'm very happy that Durgapur has now got connected to Guwahati. So Guwahati people can now come in. It will get connected to Badogra very soon. So we do at least, if you put in fiscally, about 50 lakh of business from Siliguri only. So there will be more people coming in. And we work with very low margins actually. To be honest, আজকের দিনে কেউ ব্যবসা করতে গেলে less than 30% EBITDA, nobody will do business. We do business at only 9%, 10%, max 12% EBITDA. Obida, you know how we do medical business. A lot of problems today with Swasthya Sathi and so many other things coming in the scheme. I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Yeah. ताली नहीं बजाएंगे इस बात पर डॉक्टर साहब का? Okay, thank you. Dr. Bose, please take a pause. I'll come to Priyanksha now. Priyanksha, I have already introduced her that she is a Rotarian. She has joined Rotary Club of Durgapur Smart City only a couple of days back, along with her husband, Dr. Rahul Bose. Rahul is also here. Rahul, can you please stand up and get acknowledged by the people? He is a Rotarian. He is son of Dr. Sophie Bose. Thank you, Rahul, and Priyanksha, I'm coming to you. My first question to you is, you have done your basic medical education from National Medical College, Kolkata, right? Okay. And worked in Netralaya. I had, please pronounce the name properly. The name of the
Narayan
hospital?
Netralaya.
Narayan Netralaya, right?
Bangalore, yeah.
Bangalore, and then Susut Eye Foundation. When you decide to come to Durgapur, when you decided to come to Durgapur and why?
I think when I was in Narayan Netralaya, Bangalore, I realized how many Bengalis from all over Bengal, from little small towns in Bengal, travel all the way, travel 2 hours, 2 days in the train and reach Bangalore and Chennai for treatment. And I was shocked because I have always lived in Kolkata. I did not see this aspect of health services, and I realized that this is not how it should be. There are great hospitals in Bengal, in Calcutta, in Durgapur. I was associated with Rahul at that time, so I knew that Mission Hospital is there in Durgapur. Then why are people traveling all the way? And I wanted to change this. And the urge grew every day when I saw how much of trouble it takes for people who travel. The language is new, the food is different, there are long waiting hours, and the most important thing in medical science is follow-ups. You travel so far and you get yourself operated, but what happens to your follow-ups? If you don't follow up, then even a magician cannot make a difference, because medical science or all our treatments are based on regular follow-up. Every protocol all over the world depends on these follow-ups, and that people cannot get. They go, they get operated. I know about eye, I cannot talk about the rest. But in eye, you get a cataract surgery done and you come back and then you forget about your eye because you can't go back to the hospital. And after 2 years or 3 years, when you have trouble seeing, you come back to your nearest hospital. Right now, I'm seeing a lot of patients in Durgapur, and they have severe glaucoma, they have diabetic retinopathy, and nobody ever detected it. But when I operate you here, right here in the city, I will make sure that you come back to me every 6 months, every 3 months, and I will not let you go till the last day of your life. I'm going to take care of your eyes, and this is what I wanted, and this is why I spoke to Dad, and we decided to come up with an eye care solution in Bengal. And I am from Kolkata. I have lived, both of us have lived, me and my husband have lived in Kolkata all these years. We put blinkers on when we are in the city. We forget about the rest of the country, most of which does not reside in the metros. So I think it's a great initiative for us to open something in Durgapur.
Thank you, Priyanka. A brilliant answer to my very simple question. In a lighter mode, Priyanka, the second question to you. Did you ever thought that you are going to start such a huge and state-of-the-art eye hospital, or after marrying Dr. Rahul Bose and coming closer to Dr. Satyajit Bose, you thought, now you can promote a hospital like this? Who inspired you, Priyanka? Your husband, Dr. Rahul, or your dad, a very successful entrepreneur, very large-hearted heart specialist cardiologist, Dr. Satyajit Bose, or your activity inspired both of them to start this venture like this?
Ever since I've married into the family, there has only been one inspiration, and that is the man sitting next to me. He is phenomenally inspiring every day, and it's a pleasure to just have him around. You learn so much from him every day, and he was the one who actually pushed me again and again, and he's pushing me even today to start our own hospital, to run it, to manage it. It's an art that you have to learn.
So yes,
basically, Priyanka comes from a family of doctors for 4 generations. So I told Priyanka that to be able to start a hospital, you must know some managerial skills. So I told her that you must write and get into one of the management schools. To her credit, she did a 1-year executive MBA from Kolkata IM in Joka, and she's come up with brilliant colors.
okay, so Priyanka, there is no contribution of Rahul in this game. No.
There is a saying that behind every successful man there's a woman, but behind every successful woman there is a village. Starts with the husband, the daughter, the mother-in-law. I am incredibly grateful to my entire family. Can't do it alone. Impossible.
Rahul, you take it as a compliment. Priyanka, the next question to you. You have joined a Rotary Club, right? You have happily joined a Rotary Club, I must say. Okay?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. Along with your husband, Dr. Rahul, he
Yes.
also joined the Rotary Club, the same Rotary Club. Tell me, who motivated whom to join Rotary? Rahul to you or you to Rahul? And what is the motivation like?
So both of us moved to Durgapur and we don't know anybody in the town. And both of us really needed an avenue where we meet new people from different walks of life. We get a chance to socialize and we get a channel through which we can tell people what we do and how we can help everybody who requires eye care and cardiac care. And this was the best platform. Actually, Dad suggested because he was associated with Rotary. So he said that this is going to be a great opportunity. And we jumped, we took it, we got inducted together recently, and we are loving it. Like, we met everybody here as we walked in, and now we have a lot of friends in the city of different age groups.
Thank you. Priyanka, you said you have worked with Sushrut Eye Foundation. Are you aware that the founder of that hospital, Sushrut Eye Foundation, Dr. Ratish Chandrapal, he's a Rotarian in Kolkata. And he does a lot of good work to the society, to the community through Rotary. So what is your plan, your and Rahul's plan to help the community through your Rotary Club where you have joined recently?
I think the plan is to serve and keep serving and learn to serve because just the intention is not enough. You need an avenue like I heard in your speech that day, the day I got inducted. You may want to serve, but you may not know how. So through Rotary, we will exactly know what to do. And I think both me and more than me, Rahul is very interested in helping out people all the time, all the time. I learn it from him every day.
That's great. Please put your hands together for Priyanka and for a thought for Rotary. Coming back to Dr. Bose once again. Dr. Bose, coming back to you, it is said that you do not know who is going to marry whom. Marriages are made in heaven. And then how did you know that your daughter-in-law will be an eye consultant and she will marry your son, Dr. Rahul? And your dream for setting up a huge modern eye hospital will be fulfilled by involvement of Dr. Priyanka to take the charge as a chairperson?
Very difficult question. Total in-swinger. So it's going to make me like before weekend. Yeah, when Rahul was going around with Priyanka and both were doctors and both of them got into post-graduation together. Rahul got into MS surgery, but then she was initially trying to go into pediatrics. But pediatrics is back-breaking and may involve her to be working 24/7. But in a family, there has to be somebody who works from 8 to 6. Now 8 to 6, another thing where in eye surgery there's a bit of medicine also and there is a bit of surgery also. So it's a totalitarian science. So then I advised Priyanka that আমি একটু ছক্কসে চলি তো সেজন্য আমি বললাম ভাই তুই আই কর, then it will give you a good opportunity. And eye care is really, really needed because one of the countries like India where we send rockets into space and all that, people also get blind because of cataract. Thousands and thousands of people, despite so many schemes by Rotary, by the government, by the land, so many other people. So therefore, I said that there is a huge amount of scope to do good work, to do social work, we do sustainable private practice also. So it's a combination. And she, like a good girl, listened to us and she took up eye. She had a good run, she did it well, and then she worked in Narayan Netralaya. And then when she was working with Rotish and was doing 50 to 60 cataract eyes in a day, then I thought that then this girl has got some quality. So then I suggested, do you want to be in service? Because salary is one thing that is the biggest venom in life. That is the biggest poison in life. If somebody is used to salary. Then I said, do you want to be an entrepreneur? She said yes in the affirmative. So later on, then the rest is history in which she did her IM. We opened up an eye hospital where We are both. In the meantime, Rahul completed his MCH in cardiac surgery. I always wanted him to be a cardiac surgery, but we used to put subtle hints in front of him that please do cardiac surgery. So we used to put subtle hints, and fortunately he took up cardiac surgery. He did it from SSKM, and he's shaped up to be a very nice cardiac surgeon. And in years to come, he will replace us when we stop him.
Okay, we have all best wishes for Rahul. You mentioned that you are going to start a hospital in Siliguri, but you forgot that I come from Asansol.
So we are also talking to the people in Malay Babu in Asansol. We are trying to get a piece of land. We've looked at two lands just opposite Jubilee Park. One is 7 acres, the other is 10 acres, private land. So it is, you know how private land is, the character and all that. So we are doing the Jomi search and all that. In the meantime, you know this gentleman by the name of Papudhal? Yes.
My neighbor.
He is your neighbor. So that place in the ground floor and the first floor, we have done a diagnostic. So in the second, third, fourth and fifth floor, we are going to start a cath lab and angioplasty facilities. And so that for immediate cardiac care, for the Asansol people will have it. And in the near future, when we are able to lay our hands on that piece of land or in Srinagar, whichever we are looking at, I told you the other day. So we are very soon going to come up in Asansol.
That's great. Thank you very much. Asansol वाले थोड़ा ताली बजाइए. आ रहे हैं, वहाँ भी आ रहे हैं. Dr. Bose, I know you don't look like a man in the 60 years of age, but you are. And now tell me, you do every day you do 6-7 heart surgeries with your own hands, as I have heard. So what keeps you so enthusiastic and energetic?
First of all, let me tell you that there are 7 to 8 heart surgeries happening in the unit every day. But there are people like Rahul, Sujoy, Sidhu Chatterjee, everybody. We share the operations. People who specifically ask for me, I do their surgeries. That number is about 3, sometimes 4, and sometimes cases that inspires me, like aortic surgery and stuff, aortic aneurysms, mitral valve repairs. So those are the surgeries that I do, and obviously people who, you know, the kind of surgery that I don't cut the legs and all that. So I do the lima Y. So those are the things that I do about 2 to 3 or sometimes 4 a day, and the rest of the people do another 4 a day. So that way it's a very cohesive unit, because unless there is, you know, we make the coming generation ready for the next day, then suddenly if something happens to me, then the whole system will fall apart. So that is why there is a very good mix of cases in which the juniors, not so juniors, the seniors, they all share and do the case. But ultimate goal is that the patient should do well. And the reason of my energy level is obviously, as I said, I still feel stressed all the time. And that stress keeps me moving. And also, a bit of yoga and a bit of happiness. I'm generally a very happy guy. You'll never find me sad, morose, sitting in one corner. वो सब नहीं होता मुझसे. I love everything in life. I play the drum. I have my good alcohol also sometimes. I don't smoke, and I enjoy life. I'm not shy to tell that मैं दारू पीता हूँ. यहाँ पर हफ्ते में 1 दिन 2 दिन पीता हूँ. आराम से पीता हूँ, and I've got a nice, fantastic bar. So all of you are invited. Sir has been there. I have a bar which has got single malts. I have passed the exam in Craigellachie in Salt Lake of whiskey tasting also. So, and anything above 25 years or 20 years, we've got huge collection. Please come over as a group and we'll enjoy in our bar one day. And didn't you come once?
So take the address from Subhida and visit Dr. Bose's house once.
Absolutely.
Dr. Bose, the next. Sorry, you are talking something. So I can see, and I hear from many of the doctors that the members of the patient family create lots of nonsenses. Sometimes for a valid reason, and sometimes for sake of fun. Now, what problems do you face on a day-to-day basis, and how cool you tackle it?
Sir, fund problem is there everywhere. People have money for travel, people have money for good clothes, people have money for, even keeping a cigarette wife some place, सबके लिए पैसा है. For good car, for good food, for good restaurant, everything. But people don't want to save money for health. That is the universal truth. And if this used to be my previous dialogue, wherever I've been awareness sessions of the heart and all that, I said, please put 1 rupee or 2 rupees in a local bhandar every day. And then, or maybe you don't smoke 2 cigarettes, don't have 2 cups of tea, give away that biscuit in the morning, and you place 10 rupees in a little bottle or a little jar, you will have 3,650 rupees. With that, you can buy 5 lakh rupees of health insurance, and you can just throw the card on me. Today, I will share one card with you, and you will know how these cards are important. And today, insurance has taken over healthcare. Previously, all HNIs, all rich people, and all educated people, not literate people, they have their insurance. People who are unaware, they don't have this. And therefore, these are the people who fight. And about fights, we have reached about 15 years. People know that we are transparent, we are forthcoming, we are patient friendly. So, jhamela ekhon onek kome geche, Shopun babu, age chilo.
So, Priyank sir, the next question for you. You are a doctor, you are an eye specialist, and you have done your MBA from the country's best institution, Indian Institute of Management, Kolkata, Joka. What was the necessity of becoming an MBA, and how does it help in your profession?
Necessities, I don't know. I applied to IIM Kolkata and they accepted my application based on my CV. So that was that. I started the course. Dad encouraged me to do this. And I realized along the course that it is absolutely necessary if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to run something. As a doctor, we don't learn anything about finance, but it is absolutely important to understand it. I am just in level 1. There are 10,000 levels above. But this was a start for me to realize what is important.
See, as a cardiac surgeon, when we start doing surgery, Rahul will agree with me, when we are doing a surgery, we have assistant 1 here, assistant 2 there, a nurse here, and a nurse there, and a physician assistant, 3 anesthetists, technicians, and a perfussion who is doing the heart-lung machine. So I feel that I am a big team leader. I can move, on my direction, these 10 people are doing in this particular thing. So they think, doctors think they are great leaders. Wrong. The basic thing about management is that it teaches you to be humble. Management teaches you to be humble, how to manage resources, how to manage people, how to manage money. For that, humility is the biggest weapon that management teaches. And unless you are an entrepreneur and you are not humble, your business will not run. This is the biggest lesson that I thought she would get. And I got it because I did it from IIM Anudhaban.
I just want to add one thing, that whatever I learned in IIM Kolkata, I think I am going to learn 10,000 times coming for these Rotary meets and getting associated with Rotary, because Rotary develops excellent leadership qualities. I can already see it when Mr. Ashok Agarwal speaks, or when you speak. It's amazing. I think that's my future motto now.
I don't know about Ashok ji, but I have learned everything from Rotary. If I can speak to you today, or a person like Dr. Bose, this I have learned from Rotary only. Dr. Bose, this is for the audience. You are aware that we have successfully completed our mega project of 3240 Heart to Heart project. Do you know that? Yes. Yes or no? Little loud? Yes. Okay. So that was the honest initiative of our own past district governor Ashok ji. And it was very nicely implemented by our friend Rotary Subir Roy. And there was a huge cooperation from the Mission Hospital, and the chairman, Dr. Bose, is here. So can you put your hands together for Ashok ji? Please stand up and get recognized. Subirda and Dr. Bose, these 3 gentlemen has made this possible. Thank you. And I have learned from, in persuasion of Rotary Subir Roy, Dr. Bose is going to announce something that treatment of Rotarian in Mission Hospital is going to be little easy. So I would like Dr. Bose to speak about this.
Shall I just stand up for this?
Yes, I will stand up.
Can you place in the...
Is it important? See, basically, these are 2 cards that we are going to give for all Rotarians, for all Rotary districts, 3240, 325, 3291, everybody. So you can show it in the camera? Okay. So can you focus on this? No, you can focus. So this is the card. That is, this card we have done for Rotarian Shubir Roy, in which his photo is here, and his name, his age, and his Rotary ID number. And the facilities that are offered to all Rotarians is that whenever there is an emergency and you come to the emergency in the Mission Hospital, you do not need to put any deposits. You can just get admitted right away. Secondly, we give you 10% discount on all bed charges, whether you want it or don't want it. 10% discount on all medicines. 10% discount on all investigations. So I will ask, Rotarian Shubir Roy to share their database with us so that we can give all of you cards like this. And this is for the Mission Hospital. And this is a card, again in the name of Rotarian Shubir Roy, which states his name, his Rotary ID, and this is a lifetime card. It does not need to be done every year or something. It gives you a 10% discount on all packages. Again, we have a very thriving pharmacy in the Divita, and we give you 10% discount on all chashma you buy. So this chashma also I got 10% discount from her. So there is another way to solve this problem also. The other way is, if you can share the database with us, we will have the database inside Divita and inside our hospital, Mission Hospital. And moment you come to us, our front office chap will tell you, what's your telephone number? So moment you tell your telephone number, they will put an OTP to you. And moment you tell the OTP, you are eligible for the discount. So that's another way of doing it. So I will leave it to the leaders of the Rotary, which method you want to take. This card is a nice card to have. Yeah.
May I have Subit on the stage to receive this card from Dr. Bose and Dr. Priyanksha, please.
Is his wife also eligible?
Yes, entire family. Okay. Entire family. I mean, Rotary is a thing with the family. Rotary calls for family. So this is for the Rotarian lifetime card for his family. Right, sir?
Little louder by ताली तो जोर से बजाइए.
So this is the benefit of our 4,000 Rotarian with their family. This is the benefit of our 4,000 Rotarian with their family. Another benefit. Yes, Priyanksha. Thank you. So pleasant. And this is from the Devita.
From Devita IT.
So I will give the responsibility of our IT section to make it a card.
So card we will make for you.
Okay.
You have to give me the database.
Okay.
So
That's a
which
nice.
will have their telephone number, which will have the name, a photograph, and that digital thing can also have their photograph, their and basic demographics like his age, his telephone number, and his Rotary ID number, which is very important.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Satyajit Bose, the chairman of Mission Hospital, Mission Group of Hospitals, I must say now. And also to our Rotarian friend, newly joined Rotarian Dr. Priyanksha, for your participation, for your valuable interaction with us. And Priyanksha, for you, Rotary is expecting a very high from you and Rahul. And Dr. Bose, thank you very much. In the meantime, please take your seat for another 2-3 minutes. And friends, what a coincidence. What is that? Any guess? No? Okay. Let me tell you that, how many of you know that our district governor-elect, Ukhra Kushnaba Pabi, also was a student of engineering and studying in IIT Benares and came out as a doctor. I don't know what is happening here. Yes, came out as a doctor. So, as I said, no, if you want your children to become a doctor, get him admitted in IIT. So, with this, this is the end of the program. Before that, I will request our district governor-elect, Rotary Kushnaba Pabi, to please come on the stage and please felicitate Dr. Sotir Bose and bless our youngest member, Priyanksha and Rahul. Rahul, please come on the stage. Rahul, please.
Next will be Joya. Next will be Joya. Next will be Joya.
Jayadi, please come on the stage. Jayadi, please.
And for Rahul is the Ashoka. And for Rahul is the Ashoka. He is our inspiration.
Well, as you can see, Dr. Bose, really he is an inspiration for all of us who act as entrepreneurs in the field of medicine and others. And the confidence he just radiates from him really makes you also very certain that you can do it. So this is what I again learned from him. He has the guts to take risk and he has the intention to grow. This really inspires not only Priyanksha but all of us.
Now I request our incoming First Lady, Joya Pabi, to please bless Dr. Priyanksha Rotary and Dr. Priyanksha Chatterjee. May I have Past Governor Ashok Agarwal on the stage, please. Ashok da, please bless our another young member of Rotary, Dr. Rahul Bose. So thank you very much, friends. That was the end of this session, end of this talk show or whatever you call. I once again thank you, Dr. Sotir Bose, Dr. Rahul Bose, and Dr. Priyanksha Chatterjee, and our Governor-elect, Dr. Kushnaba Pabi. Thank you very much. Thank you for your patient hearing. Thank you very much.